Hello guys, Review Bros here.
Welcome back again. I hope you all had a good Christmas and New Year. And now we are back at it. Back at the pre-workout reviews for 2019.
Just starting with a nice serene one, not a really powerful one at all. Only Assassin.
Yeah, and the non-hyped one, the one that no one really knows about, to be honest. Yeah, so Apollo Labs, massive thanks to them for getting us this sent out. We do have Assassin and we do have Hooligan to get done as well.
So we'll be asking that classic question. Hooligan versus Assassin.
I think the Assassin would probably win because the Hooligan wouldn't really be stealthy in the dark, would they? They wouldn't.
They'd come in with a Molotov and get shanked.
But yeah, so stay tuned. We'll let you know our thoughts, feelings and experiences with Assassin today.
Alright, so moving on to taste time with Assassin. We've got pineapple mango and it also comes in
strawberry kiwi. So obviously we're just going to comment on the taste.
And mixability.
I will just quickly emphasise that there is a hell of a lot of stimulants in here, which we will go through. So we are expecting the flavour not to be brilliant because masking those stims with flavour is very, very hard. If you didn't already know that. So yeah, pineapple mango. Mixability is, yeah, very good. A little bit of sediment at the bottom, not a lot.
That's good considering how much is in it, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, mine's the same. Very little bits, nothing major.
You can taste pineapple for sure.
I don't mind it. We've had friends that say they really didn't like the taste, like that James.
Did he? Mm.
Yeah, he really didn't like it. But I'd say it's above average.
Yeah, I would too.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong, it's not like amazing.
Yeah, it's not pleasurable as such.
It's not, but the amount of stims, they've done a very, very good job of it. So taste, I'd probably go for I've got a number in my head.
Around 3, maybe a little bit above, that's what I'm thinking.
I say a 3 out of 5 taste, which
I'm happy with that.
You know, for something of this calibre with the stimulants, you wait till we run through them, guys. They've done a good job. So, well done, Apollo.
Cheers.
Okay, guys, so we're going to move into the price element of this video with Assassin. We're going to start off by being honest, really, and it's saying it is an expensive product. It is, give or take, $54.95. That's straight off the Apollo website. Whether you can get it cheaper or not elsewhere, we're not too sure. Obviously, with the UK industry at the moment, it's not currently available. However, if you give Striation Supplements a follow, they're the first ones. We actually put Apollo in contact with them. They're going to be the first UK suppliers. It's looking very likely. So Striation Supplements, who knows what they'll do it for, but we've done this translation from US dollars to pounds, so $54.95 is about £43.50 a tub, give or take, so about £43, and it is for 20 servings. And
where does that fall in our scale?
So in terms of pricing, it definitely is one of the much more expensive products. It's actually over £2 a scoop. It was £2.17 to be precise. Which unfortunately, even though it does sound really bad, you do get a lot of stimulants and a lot of ingredients for it, but it does come as a 1 out of 5 on price, I'm afraid, just because of how expensive it is per scoop. So yeah, that's the pricing summed up for you.
Yeah. Okay, so moving into effects, we're going to do the usual rundown of the very long and interesting ingredients list for you.
It's one of the biggest lists we've come across, to be honest. So that is why the price might be considered okay for some.
Yeah, if you are a stim junkie, you justify it.
Yeah, this is one of the most hyped pre-workouts there. So get ready for the list because this explains why.
Sit back, put your feet up, and listen to this. Alright, so first of all, the boring stuff, let's get that out of the way. It's got the usual vitamin B3, B6 and B12 in there.
Yeah.
So moving into the proper ingredients, we've got first up L-citrulline at 4,000 milligrams.
So L-citrulline at 4,000 milligrams is an average. It's a decent dose, don't get me wrong. That's your pump ingredient. Solid pumps with this.
Sweet. Next up, beta-alanine, 3,200 milligrams.
So that's obviously another stimulant in some people's eyes. It's going to give you that tingle effect. It's also a lactic acid buffer, so there is a good side to it as well as tingles, which some positive people like it, some don't. So it's up to you really. But 3,200 milligrams is what I'd call the dead average.
Yeah, yeah. Agmatine at 1,000 milligrams.
Agmatine, so what that does is assist the central nervous system. It's a neurotransmitter enhancer, so it's going to help you with that focus. It's going to help you with that control in the gym. It's also been shown that to boost nitric oxide levels in the bloodstream, so it does improve the pump. So it's actually another pump / stimulant, so it's right in the middle of those two.
Oh, nice. Next up, we have the normal caffeine anhydrous at 500 milligrams.
Cool, 500 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous. That's one of the highest dosages we've seen. A lot of people would call that out. Probably, let's be honest. It's a big dosage of caffeine, so it's a big stimulant hit. You're definitely going to feel that, let me tell you.
Yeah, I was up till 3 AM after taking it, about 7. So yeah, I can vouch for that. Next up, we've got the main ingredient, you might argue, is DMHA 2-amino-6-methylpentane at 300 milligrams.
Blimey. That is the highest DMHA amount we've ever seen, by probably 100 milligrams. So it's another third on top of the second highest. So that's your stimulant. Obviously, it's the cousin to DMAA. It's a massive sort of central nervous system booster, stimulant galore.
Gives you that high effect, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was as effective as DMAA. A lot of people would agree, but 300 milligrams is a hell of a lot of that.
Yeah.
So do take caution when you take this product, is all I say.
Yeah, yeah.
That is going to get you going.
Next up, we have Area Gerensis at 300 milligrams.
Oh, okay, so that's the classic. That's the plant. It's very, very similar in its structural compound to DMAA. How much, sorry?
300 milligrams.
Again, so it's a massive dose of that. So you're hitting that spectrum. It's not as powerful as DMAA. That's why it stayed on the off the ban list, should I say? But another massive stimulant, and again, 300 milligrams is a massive amount of that.
You can tell that
there's a lot of stimulants,
yeah.
And this is why I mentioned that taste thing. That although 3 out of 5 for taste wasn't fantastic, but to mask these sort of ingredients is fantastic.
And a lot of them, I know. Next up, Teacrine, 125 milligrams. Or Theacrine.
Theacrine, did you say?
Yeah.
So do you remember what this one does?
This is similar to caffeine, right?
Yeah, that is right. So it's very similar to caffeine. One of the only really differences is actually that it doesn't affect blood pressure. So it's more positive in that scenario.
Oh, okay. So that's just topping up the already high caffeine.
Yeah, how much is in that?
125 milligrams of Theacrine.
Oh, so on top of the 500 caffeine.
Yeah, it's mental. So next up we have, guess what? More caffeine. Decaffeine malate at 100 milligrams.
Blimey, that really.
So
another 100 milligrams of a caffeine derivative, like scenario style type of ingredient. 100 milligrams may not sound a lot, but when you're already combining it with these other two.
Yeah, you do feel it. Next up we have hignamine at 75 milligrams.
So hignamine is a stimulant again. What that does is actually it's quite a strange sort of ingredient. So it will make the body relax, but it will make the heart rate go up. So therefore your cardiovascular endurance will be improved automatically. You don't need to warm up on that treadmill. This will do it for you.
Next up is sifronine at 65 milligrams.
Another plant. Another stimulant. This one's more going down the fat burning route. It's very similar in compound structures to bitter. Is it bitter orange?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's that sort of thing. So it was a fat burner.
Cool.
/ stimulant.
Next up is bioperine at 5 milligrams.
So bioperine at 5 milligrams, it does exactly the same sort of thing as black pepper extract at 5 milligrams. They've just substituted it out this time. So that will help you digest all those stimulants, which is a brilliant thing to have at the end of that, because you do have a lot to digest really in this. That is one of the most hardcore labels I've ever seen. And we'll be able to tell you the results in a minute.
Yeah. And last up on the list is your Himbine HCl at 4 milligrams, which people argue is the highest comfortable level, isn't it, before it starts to get a bit...
Yeah, so we have had that before where we've taken too much of that and felt a bit sick.
Dribbling.
Just quickly start by saying we didn't get it at sickness at all with this. So that's actually a really good dose of your Himbine. And
that sums up the list. So we will just let you know how we felt it in training.
Boom.
Okay, so we're going to just give you a little backstory on what our experience was with being assassinated.
Yeah. You start, Craig, and I'll
follow. I will go with my personal experience. We both used it a few times. I'll just explain the overall then. So
very calm, serene. Yeah.
I felt the beta alanine a little bit. I could definitely feel it. It wasn't overwhelming, but I could definitely feel it. I had the really immense focus to just train. The mindset was there as soon as I took it. That was really good. And really consistent, decent energy levels the whole way through. Strength was up, focus, everything really. But what I will say is, considering how much ingredients are in it, it didn't feel unhealthy.
No.
I never felt like, Jesus, I can't take this one again, which I have done with some of the other heavy hitters. So in that respect, I really do like it. What about you?
To be fair, I'd very much agree. Beta-alanine, I definitely felt the beta-alanine. That was nice beta-alanine in that. I will also emphasise what Craig said in the fact that I at no point felt unhealthy. There was no point in that workout that I felt excessively sick, excessive heart rate, lightheadedness, any of those sort of really unhealthy effects that some pre-workouts, when they've got excessive stims in them, seem to do.
Which shows that they've dosed that really well, doesn't it?
It means the label comes together well.
Stuff, yeah,
and it really does. Straight away I felt euphoric and sort of ready to go. That was instantaneous really, like within minutes of drinking the pre-workout. And I will just quickly actually add to this, and it is important to add, is that I didn't really, and you'll agree, didn't really feel a massive difference, if a difference at all, between taking half a scoop and a full scoop. So you can maybe underline that price problem. You can maybe underline that servings amount per tub, 20 servings per tub issue, and you can double it up. And I mean, I think we'd be more than happy to do that.
It'll still be better than a lot of pre-workouts out there, even at half a scoop.
So you're already, if at half serving, you're looking at 250 plus milligrams of caffeine. You're looking at 150 plus milligrams of DMHA and urea durensis. All the ingredients are still going to be very well dosed at half scoop. So, like I say, that'll bring it more down to sort of £1 a serving, which is a much more respectable sort of
level,
price.
Yeah. And you also don't notice it really wearing off, do you? It seems to hold up nicely the whole time.
The only days that I might take a 3/4 scoop or a full scoop might be a heavy leg day or a heavy back day that I know that I've got to go absolutely balls to the walls.
Like 2 hours plus session, and you're not got to be up early or whatever.
But yeah, so you know, a very good pre-workout rating out of 5 for yourself. I've got a number in my head.
We normally like to bust the balls of hyped up pre's, but in this case it does live up to the hype, and I'm going to go with a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I will go with a 5 out of 5. The label is fantastic, and it pulls together well in training. Yeah. So yeah, moving on to the final verdict then, really.
Okay, so first up we have taste, which we did say
was a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, we agreed on a 3, which is fine. Tastes good considering the amount of
pineapple,
stims.
mango, yeah, the amount of stims they've got on mask is they've done a brilliant job of it. We was not expecting a 5 out of 5 for this. We was probably expecting more like a 1 or a 2, to be honest with you. So they pulled it out of the bag with a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
So definitely doable.
And the other flavour might even be nicer, so who knows?
Who knows?
Next up, price was a 1 out of 5, bearing in mind that's on the full serving one
Which
scoop.
is the score we have to go with. Again, complete discretion. You can go for your half scoop. We probably would.
Yeah.
And double that, so that it'll probably be like a 3 or 3.5 out of 5. But we've got to go with the full serving, so we've given that a 1 out of 5. Based on just price alone at £2.17 a day.
Yeah.
Which is more than definitely way more than average. And then 5 out of 5 for effects.
Yeah.
Fantastic effects. So
a 3.
3 plus the 1's 4 plus the 5 is 9, which may not seem great, but you really do need to account for the prices really brought it down.
Yeah.
Which you can overcome, and the taste is, you know, some people we have to include it, but for us it's neither here nor there. You know, unless it's completely undoable, then we don't really care.
Yeah. So if you are a stim junkie and you love your heavy hitting pre-workouts, but you're not keen on the ones that hit you so hard that you feel uneasy and a bit sick and it's too much.
Yeah, and the most important thing is that effects, and that effects score was 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
So 9 out of 15 may not sound brilliant, but it's hitting the brilliance in the right areas.
Yeah, exactly. Effects is the priority, isn't it? That's what we're looking for.
So that sums up the final verdict. Again, massive thanks to Apollo Nutrition for getting this out to us. I'm just going to quickly run through worldwide status again, in the fact that if you're from America, this is where it comes from. Very easy to get hold of. You might be able to get it cheaper, etc, etc. If you're from elsewhere, then do try and get hold of it. I can't tell everyone where to go to get it because I'm not too sure. It just depends on shipping. That might add on costs, or there might be a distributor nearby you that does it. Moving on into the UK, for our UK viewers, the only one we've set Apollo up with at the moment, and this is if it pulls through, they're not quite ready, but give Striation Supplements a follow on Instagram. They are looking very likely to be the very first distributors in the UK of Apollo products. That includes Hooligan. So if you're interested, Striation Supplements, we'll drop a link in below. We'll probably do shout outs on our Instagram as soon as they do their pre-orders, which is what they're planning on doing very soon. Again, thank you all for watching. Please give us a thumbs up. Drop us some comments if you've tried Assassin before. Let us know if you can find it cheaper.
Let us know if you've taken any pre-workouts that are more powerful than Assassin as well, because we'd like to know.
And as always, if you haven't already, then please do just give us a subscribe. The more we get, the more chances are we're going to get more pre-workout rolling, more reviews. We do have a lot coming up. We've got at least sort of 10, 15, 20 in the pipeline.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot coming. And cheers, guys.
Thanks again.
Apologies if it's a long one, but it's
lot to go through.
Yeah, it's an important one.
Have a nice new year.
Cheers.